Yeah, Mike, I see you just gave it a little test.
All good.
Yeah, what did you put in there?
IMRC motor, intake manifold runner control.
Wow. Well, you know, Mike, these major repairs are heavy-duty things for young families, as you well know.
They are. They're hard hit.
Yeah, and at least Katzman makes it a little bit more palatable. Nobody ever really wants to take a hit like this, but you guys, this is the second major repair I've had over here, and I know that you personally have saved me a lot of money by talking me out of doing, like one was a heater core, when all it needed was a back flush.
Right.
It's a lot of difference in the cost of that kind of service, and people that are perceptive enough to figure that out are very rare. So I want to thank you very much on behalf of my son Mike and his family.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for the rest of the story about the repair of this car, look at the following 8 or 10 minutes of this presentation.
Johnny O'Connor bought an automobile. He took his sweetheart for a ride one Sunday. Johnny was togged up in his best Sunday clothes. She nestled close to his side. Things went just dandy till he got down the road. Then something happened to the old machinery. That engine got his goat, off went his hat and coat. Everything needed repairs. He'd have to get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine. He was just dying to cuddle his queen, but every minute when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel. A dozen times they'd start to hug and kiss, and then the darned old engine, it would miss, and then he'd have to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile. Millionaire Wilson said to Johnny one day, your little sweetheart don't appreciate you. I have a daughter who is hungry for love. She likes to ride every day. Johnny had visions of $1 million in gold. He took her riding in his little auto, but every time that he went to say marry me, 'twas the old story again. He'd have to get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine. He was just dying to cuddle his queen, but every minute when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel. Every time that he would reach for a kiss, it seems the darned old spark plug, it would miss, and then he'd have to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile. He'd have to get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine. He was just dying to cuddle his queen, but every minute when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel. It seems that once she sat down on his knee, and then he lost control, ran right up a tree, and then he had to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile.
my merry old mobile.
That looks like Barney at Christmas time. Having grown up around the Ford place in Charlottesville and being able to recognize a good shop when I see one, of particular importance, based on my conversations with Sharon and other ladies, they're always concerned when they come to a place like you have. Do you know why, and how do you handle that situation?
Well, I know women are making a lot more of the decisions nowadays about how they spend the money and actually fixing cars, doing pretty much everything. So we have Molly Brown here to entertain them, and we try to keep the place nice and neat, and we listen to them, and we do what we say, and we do it when we say we're going to do it.
Would you comment on the kind of shake you're going to give them? Is it going to be fair?
Absolutely. I treat them the way I would want to be treated. That's the first thing. That's the most important thing.
Thanks, Mark.
You bet, anytime.
And this is a picture of Molly Brown at her supervisory position in the lobby. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I see you still taking a look at that Windstar engine, but quick, tell me where you used to teach transmission repair.
At Manassas campus, NVCC.
Northern Virginia Community College?
Yes.
And did you have many students that take up that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there were always full classes.
Yeah, how long did you teach down there?
Several years.
Several years?
Yeah, I did it for 3 years, but I alternated. I did 2 automatic classes and 1 standard.
Okay. Standard transmission.
Yeah, standard transaction.
Yeah, I haven't heard that expression for a while. Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely, thank you.
Mark and Mike always send me down to the Ox Deli to have a snack when I have to wait for repairs to my 4 old automobiles. There's the shop down at the other end of the block. Very convenient and good food. I'm going to take a quick look inside the Ox Deli. This deli is always very, very clean. The young man that works here is cleaning constantly. Food's good, inexpensive, nice place to wait for repairs. In the summer of 2007, a few days after Mark and the guys over at the shops rebuilt the transmission on this 2000 Venture, I drove it about 7,000 miles. The furthest away was at Death Valley, from Badwater up to the Furnace Creek and on up out of the valley. The temperature reached 131 degrees. The transmission had just been rebuilt, and Mark says that was like entering a marathon after you had a heart transplant. But anyway, transmission worked fine.